Hello, word explorers and history buffs, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating linguistic journey, digging into a word that might sound unfamiliar but carries a heavy weight of history and meaning, Zaeta. Now, if you were to look up Zaeta, you'd find it's a Latin noun, specifically a second declension masculine noun. Its definitions are pretty direct: devil, evil one, and even the devil or Satan himself. But where did this word come from, and how did it find its way into the lexicon of evil? That's the mystery we're unraveling today. To start, let's be clear. Zaeta is the word you'd find in your classical Latin textbook alongside Caesar or Cicero. It's not a standard term from the Roman Republic or the early Empire. Its origins are a bit more complex and point to a fascinating period of cultural and religious transformation. The story of Zaeta really begins with the spread of Christianity through the Roman Empire. As the new faith grew, it needed a vocabulary to express its core concepts, many of which were new to the Greco-Roman world. One of the most significant concepts was the personification of absolute evil, the devil. The primary word for the devil in the Latin Bible, the Vulgate, is diabolus, which itself comes from the Greek diabolos, meaning slanderer or accuser. Another common term is satanas, a transliteration from the Hebrew Satan, meaning adversary. So if diabolus and satanas were the go-to terms, where does Zaeta fit in? Zaeta appears to be a much rarer, more obscure term, likely emerging from later, possibly medieval, Latin, or from specific regional dialects and apocryphal texts. Its etymology is not perfectly clear, which makes it all the more intriguing. One theory suggests it could be a corruption or a folk etymology derived from other words associated with evil or foreign deities. Think about it. As Christianity spread, it often absorbed or demonized the gods of the cultures it replaced. It's possible that Zaeta originated from the name of a local deity, a spirit, or a mythological figure that was later reinterpreted as a demon or the devil himself. This process, known as syncretism, was common. Old gods didn't just disappear, they were often rebranded as forces of darkness. Another possibility lies in the magical and mystical traditions that flourished alongside mainstream religion. Grimoires, or books of magic, from the medieval and Renaissance periods are filled with unique and often strange names for angels and demons. Zaeta has the ring of a name one might find in such a text, a specific demonic entity with its own attributes and sigils. These texts often mixed Latin, Greek, Hebrew, and sometimes made up words to create an aura of ancient, powerful knowledge. So while diabolus was the official, theological term, Zaeta might have been a more folkloric or esoteric name. Imagine a medieval villager telling a scary story by the fire. They might use a name like Zaeta to sound more mysterious and terrifying, a name that wasn't heard every Sunday in church. It carries a different kind of power, the power of the unknown, the forbidden. Let's break down the grammar for a moment. The fact that it's a second declension masculine noun, Zaeta, tells us that whoever coined or used this word was thinking within a Latin framework. They gave it a proper grammatical structure, making it fit into the language. This wasn't just a random sound, it was a word intended to be used and understood within a specific linguistic context. This process of creating words for evil is incredibly revealing about the human psyche. We have an innate need to name our fears. By giving a name to the formless concept of absolute evil, whether it's Satan, the diabolus, or the more obscure Zaeta, we make it something we can confront, understand, and hopefully overcome. A name contains the threat, it gives it boundaries. The rarity of Zaeta is actually what makes it so compelling. It's a linguistic ghost, a whisper from a less documented corner of history. It reminds us that language is not just a set of official rules and words found in dictionaries. It's a living, breathing entity with countless variations, regional dialects, and specialized vocabularies. There are entire worlds of meaning in the words that fall through the cracks of official history. Think of it like an archaeological dig. The big, famous words like diabolus are like the grand temples and amphitheaters everyone knows about. But a word like Zaeta is like finding a small, personal amulet or a piece of graffiti on a hidden wall. It tells a more intimate, personal story about what people believed and feared in their daily lives. It could have been the name of a demon in a local legend, a cautionary tale told to children. Be good, or Zaeta will get you. It might have been used by a specific monastic order in their private writings, or by an alchemist trying to document the forces of the spiritual world. The journey of a word like this highlights the incredible cross-pollination of cultures. The concept of the devil itself is a blend of Jewish, Zoroastrian, Greek, and Roman ideas, all funneled through the lens of early Christianity. Zaeta is a small but fascinating piece of that grand puzzle, a testament to how people struggled to articulate the nature of evil. So while you probably won't be using Zaeta in your daily conversations, knowing it exists enriches our understanding of the past. It's a reminder that beneath the surface of history, there are countless stories waiting to be discovered, hidden in the etymology of a single, forgotten word. It shows us that for every official narrative, there are a dozen alternative versions whispered in the margins. What do you think? Have you ever encountered the word Zaeta in your own reading? Do you know of other obscure names for figures of evil from different cultures? I'd love to read your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's continue the exploration together. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into a single powerful word. If you enjoyed this linguistic investigation, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next journey into the fascinating world of words. Until next time, stay curious.